first of all, why would these big retailers be canceling orders?
It's pretty standard language in most of these purchase orders for these larger retailers like a Walmart, Target, Home Depot. Everybody needs an out. Nobody could have predicted goods would be this late, but we've got containers of Christmas trees arriving at Walmart's door now in January. So it gives them an out with the supplier, which translates to a phenomenal opportunity for the off-price segment.
That said, does the off-price segment want to sell a Christmas tree in January?
No, but you know what the off-price segment is really positioned for, Kelly, is packaways. So they've done it on a smaller scale for years. They'll take positions off-season, last season, Christmas trees in January. They've got the warehouse space. They've got the infrastructure. They've got the inventory controls. They'll sit on it till September, October, and be ahead of the game.
Yeah, and good for them for being strategic. I mean, that's kind of what they do. Marshalls, Ross, Dollar Tree, Five Below, you think will all be winners. Not that you're an analyst who covers these companies, but what about inflationary pressures? Will they be able to cope? Yes, they've got the physical supply, but what about their profit margins? I just wonder.
Absolutely. You know, the inflationary pressures are getting to everybody. We've got a staggering unrest global economy right now. Off-price retailers can ride it out better because of the situation we just talked about, Kelly. How do you take advantage of the lack of inflation where the 50% freight increases is buying stuff that just lands here now? You know, when you've got 100 container ships just in Southern California, you're talking about 2.5 million containers sitting on those ships. That's all arriving now. That's all late. That should have been here for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So it's a great opportunity for those retailers. And the handful you just mentioned, the street loves it. You know, you're talking about guys whose stock prices are triple traditional brick and mortar retailers.
No, they have. And they have, for the most part, been able to pass those prices along. I think it was even Dollar Tree that just abandoned the dollar price ceiling. What's the latest read out of China where the zero tolerance effort has been so difficult in the face of Omicron? Tell us what that portends for the next couple of months.
Yeah, you know, retailers can't be monolithic, right? You've got to have multiple sourcing approaches, whether it's Far East Asia. The one thing that Omicron and really this whole pandemic has really done for us is we've had to turn it around and really look at home, right? So production never slowed down in China. It was the supply chain in between, right? It was the ports, it was the lack of truckers, and now with another variant, we've got less people on the road, less truckers on the road. But the retailers have got very creative in their ability to source and went a little bit more global than the traditional Far East. Didn't really have the issues with the goods coming. It was that in between of when they left the factory and when it hit the shelves.
In the end, Brett, is COVID and what it's done to China? I mean, they've got something like 14 large cities on lockdown now. Tianjin, just the most recent one, which is just 50 miles from Beijing. And I don't know what the economy is there. I assume it's got partly manufacturing. But in the long run, is this good for the West and for the United States to the extent that we have a more diversified supply chain, perhaps a more Native American supply chain?
Absolutely, Tyler. And those that survive will strive. It's actually a phenomenal opportunity and a great time to be a consumer. I've joked for years that it's chic to be cheap. If you can treasure hunt and you don't need a specific item and you can go to a TJ's, Marshall's, Dollar Tree, you're going to go to more than one because they don't all have the same thing. You'll find what you need. You just may not find the exact brand or the exact item, but you'll find it.
The hunt is part of the fun. At least that's what my wife keeps telling me when she goes to Home Goods all the time. And of course, the stores have different merchandise. It's not, you don't get the same stuff at a Home Goods in one locale as you might in another.
And that you said it, Tyler. Your wife is spot on. Nobody talks about what you spent anymore. I come home, I say I bought a new jacket. The first thing I say is, what did I save? Right? Yeah. Nobody brags about what they spent. And you're absolutely right. No two Home Goods, no two Dollar Trees. The reason why they're not so planogrammed is just that, because you go to each one.